Hello and welcome to Cherry Street Sports. We're here for singles action here at the TAB State Championships. We're bringing you this morning women's singles round number 1, where we're going to see in action Carolyn Layt from Windsor up against Tracy Wiblen from Ettalong Memorial. Tracy we've already seen in action in the women's pairs, and she's been here already as part of the program. So the players are just completing their second trial end. Our marker is going to be the lovely local Wendy Clark, and alongside me for the very first time here in commentary is Bowls New South Wales little gopher for this program, Dean Hodges. Dean, good morning to you, mate.
Oh, good morning, Nick. It's great to be here. The sun's shining, the weather's turned up here in Ballina, and looks like a fantastic day.
Well, this is what we were hoping for and expecting all throughout the program. We haven't had the weather that we may have desired, but we're here and we're seeing what we trust will be a fascinating contest for you viewers here on the first day of singles action. So Carolyn Layt from Windsor will get us underway. So we've seen some amazing contests in the last 24 hours, and none more so, Dean, than that men's pairs final that we watched yesterday afternoon. It was fantastic.
That was amazing. The boys from Tarrant Point got to a lead and nearly gave it away on the last end, but a fantastic last bowl to win that match. The crowd was up, that was for sure.
Yes, so I know I've given everybody quite a lot of homework to do, but if you haven't watched that match, if you were otherwise occupied, my recommendation is that you go onto the Bowls New South Wales YouTube channel, check out yesterday's men's pairs final. It was an absolute cracker for the ages. Marimbula holding an extra end from Rowan Wilson, and David Axon with one of the bowls of his life you'd favour, wouldn't you, Dino? Drew a front toucher.
But I don't think they even saw it, the two Tarrant Point boys. They were up and embracing before it actually stopped, but they knew where it was.
So as we welcome you here to Cherry Street this morning, you've seen Carolyn a little bit underweight there. This is going to be an opportunity for Tracy early. So women's singles, first to 25, dead ends are replayed. There is no time limit. And comments coming in already from around Australia and around the world, with people watching on, supporting their friends. And Carolyn, I think she's adjusted her weight pretty well here, Dino.
I think she's got there,
she's
but
going to slip past.
It's always tough to start first thing in the morning on a green you're not used to, so the ladies will dial this in soon.
I don't doubt it. They've been out here, I think, for Tracy. Well, this will be a nice collect early here. 3 shots. Yes, 3 shots it is for Tracy. So, good start for her. She's had a little bit more experience on this green though, has been involved in the pairs competition as I suggested through the last few days, so a little bit of not necessarily local knowledge, but some more familiarity perhaps, Dino, with the green.
Yeah, and I've got to say, Duncan and his team here looking after the greens, they have done an absolutely fantastic job with the weather we've had over the last week or so to get them the way they're looking this morning and still running perfectly.
Well, we were here last night, Dean and I, with the TAB activation. We had a full green of bowlers out there. We had a little 5-end shootout, and then we saw the closest to Jack competition. And while that was going on, Team Elphick was out here just making sure that the green's going to be absolutely optimised. And you can see already this morning there's a little shine on this surface. So I reckon it'll get quick today as we see Carolyn.
This is better from Carolyn.
Found her range a bit. But yes, we had TAB merch to give away. The closest to Jack competition was very well fought. About the second bowl of the night, Dean, was 40 mil. And I said that won't get beaten. And what did I know? The closest bowl ended up being how far?
It was 25 mil. It just scooted past the jack. The rules were if you touched the jack, you were eliminated. So it just slid past, went to the back of the jack, fell back on its belly, and 25 mil was the recorded length.
So, congratulations to our girl last night who collected the $100 TAB voucher. Not TAB voucher, the $100 Cherry Street voucher, as well as the little merch pack. You see, Carolyn just hung a little bit high. The sun is tricky for us to determine the colours of the bowls, but you can see they're flashing down. It is the black and gold of Tracy. The pink bowl's still got it, Dean? Or?
Yeah, it's probably a measure with the one on the tee behind the jack here. There's not much in it, but this could...
Well, needs to get the inside of that.
The marker is calling the black and yellow bowl as the shot at the moment.
I think you'll find, Dean, that the green paddles are being used for Carolyn, given the green that's prominent in her uniform. So she's just taking a moment to assess the situation here. They've all been just maybe a hair wide on this backhand coming towards the club. And I favour that's not going to go the trip, but Wendy Clark was confident that it was one pink bowl, which would be 1 to Carolyn.
Oh, there we go.
So there we go. These things we need to pick up on early, Dean. It's his first stint in commentary.
I've gone the paddles with the bowls colours, but the paddles are the uniform colours.
Are more related to the uniform. We didn't have a set of paddles that was going to be compatible for these bowls colours with the yellow and black. So Wendy said, no, we'll do it this way. So you see our marker, and what an honour and a blessing for these players to have an ITO marking a singles game in the very first round. So there'll be no issue with rulings here. The players will be kept under a short leash, I'm sure. So Carolyn's just giving that one a little bit too much air. Has stayed up at the back of the rink. But she's on the board importantly early after dropping that 3 the first end.
The bowlers are tending to favour the short side of the green here, Nick, not bowling around the clock, as they call it.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick up from you, Dino, and it'd be interesting to see if this trend continues. The green perhaps just a little tight this morning in terms of line from what we saw yesterday afternoon, certainly. As we say, well, she can land this bowl or just park inside. Neatly done.
Yeah, that's a good second bowl there.
So we will provide you rolling scores from the other games once they've all commenced. Our markers and volunteers have been superb here, keeping us updated.
Is Caroline having to switch hands with the shorter bowl from Tracy, so we'll see how she goes on the backhand. And
done that quite well, I think. So you can just see the very top of that pink bowl at the back of your picture here. Tracy looking to reach down and grab this jack.
Oh, she's got it too, Nick.
Goes
She's got
with
it and
it.
taken it.
So that's what's seeing these players at the back of the rink. Well, if you're Carol and Layt here, you really need to give yourself a chance to run this one into the ditch or favour. Doesn't have to go quick at it. Doesn't want to get rid of her second shot bowl.
She's playing the backhand to try and reach.
And we see they just... Well, she did the first part was get past the tee, but it's a challenging weight that you have to play.
So Tracy just asking the marker for how much room she has to get around Caroline's bowl before they hit the ditch. So the way she's gone on the backhand again.
Well, I'll come into view in just a moment, but it did look tight out of the hand and will be just one shot. So Tracy Wiblen, yes, one shot is the signal there from Marker Clark. Darren Morrison's got a very good question saying, "Good morning, Nick. What is that strange object in the sky?" Well,
it's something we were talking about earlier this morning as well. It's a nice thing to see. The sun out and shining this morning.
Yeah, we're having a really nice day in the forecast. We've seen the players all arrive very enthusiastically this morning. It's only the women's sections first up. Then we've got a staggered start today, so the women will play 2 games before lunch. The men will play only 1 game before lunch and then 2 this evening. So it's a big day for you and I, Dean. We could be calling bowls until well into the evening. But with singles, one just never knows how long these games might go. They could be over in first to 25. They could be over in a very, very short space of time.
Yeah, that is the change from the pairs to the singles. Is there's no number of ends. It's all about the first to 25.
So good bowl there from Tracy. She's drawn around the front. All right, she and power ahead here, you favour. So we'll see how things go this morning. I trust you're well. I trust you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world. Nick Hind and Dean Hodges for the first time with you here at the TAB State Championships from Cherry Street Sports in Ballina. We've got action going on. I'll bring up those progress scores, and it's still from yesterday, so I'll take them away again. I'll ask Lee to tidy that up for us in the background. There's some big name players in this singles field, and perhaps none more so than the women's pairs champion from last night, Dean Kay Moran, who I spoke to this morning. She's playing over on the next green, and she was just all smiles yesterday afternoon. Now, well, Tracy wanted to just roll that bowl through. Probably only needed a couple of rolls to bring all of hers in.
I think that's what Caroline's looking for here, is to...
Well, Caroline, she can punch through the front, get off the jack. Well, it's going to be 2 down now, I reckon.
It's a little bit unlucky there, hitting the front bowl and getting the jack to move, but moving the wrong way.
Yeah, well, there was a little number sort of developing at the back of the rink there for Caroline. But for the Windsor product, she's had the right fortune on that bowl. So one's getting rolled out, and she'll have a look, and 2 shots.
It is 2.
Confirmed. So 6-1. Tracy Wiblen from Ettalong Memorial is leading Caroline Layt from Windsor. So Windsor out in the western part of Sydney. And Ettalong Memorial, of course, one of the powerful clubs of the Central Coast. So great to see all our regions represented at this event. And well,
both ladies here just taking a little bit too much grass on this side, so Tracy said, oh, I'm going to change sides and see what the backhand runs like.
Yeah, well, if there is, and there's not much of a breeze this morning, but there is, it's very gentle out of the west, which is the right-hand side of screen as you're looking there, viewers. So breeze will be pushing the bowls back a little bit from right to left. But Carolyn on this leeward hand, well, that's a good correction after her first ran a little bit high. So Tracy now just needed to adjust a little bit of weight. Well, she's done very good here.
Snuck around her own bowl there, and that shot.
Caroline now. Put the ball in a good area. Just a little bit of weight was surplus there.
Yeah, I think she's found the line on that side. She just needs to adjust the weight a touch.
So just a discussion here. How far past Jack is the shot bowl? Well, line looks okay here, Dino. Is she going to go the trip for us?
Looking not bad.
I think she has. I think she will. I think she can, and I think that's going to be number 1.
That's a great bowl to finish the end.
Showing why she was the region champion here. Caroline Layt. And a little bit of a tactical change here. We're seeing her. She's moved the mat up 5 metres or so from the tee, maybe even more.
It'll be interesting to see where this Jack ends. Whether she's gone for a shorter end here to try and change things.
Yeah, that'll be right. So Caroline away here on what we trust will be her favoured length. Go a little bit shorter. So some big name players, of course, here in this in this men's and women's field. Sarah Boddington in section 1 looks very likely. She's been in good form. With her there's Condoblin's Danielle Thompson.
Oh, here's a bowl, Nick.
There's a bowl indeed, Dino.
Tracy staying on that high side and little Jack toucher.
Yes, no, very good. So section 1 there, so Catherine Lyman from Charlestown, Port City in that section, all section 2. The young Regan Bunn from Marylands, who's had to take some time off school to come up here. And equally, there's a very young Ella Cameron in that field from Gunnedah. So the youth of the sport being very well represented. This section's also got Brianna Smith from St John's Park, who we saw in the mixed pairs with Ben Twist. This is section 3. And in section 4, we're seeing Kay Moran and Anne Johns, who will be bringing you later on this afternoon. Now, that was a match that, if I was predicting a final, those two would feature prominently. As we see Tracy, she's chasing this one.
I think she likes it.
Well, why wouldn't she? Slides off her own, makes 2, and that's some lovely bowls here.
Well, this is something different, Nick. We've got Caroline walking to the head now to take a look for herself and decide which way she wants to play it.
Yeah, it's a sensible move. We see she's got third shot on the wing there. This angle's got a much better view of the colours than from the back of the rink. Just the sun's still a little bit low. 8:54 a.m. currently here at Cherry Street Sports. Clocks go back tomorrow, Dean. So it's an extra hour in bed for some of us. So this looked to be a good line. Just the speed's going to be the issue once again.
Yeah, I think that's the way she wanted to play, Nick. She wanted to create some havoc, but just pushed it a little wide.
So as Tracy heads back, there's probably an argument here that she can trail that jack just around the corner. You can see at the bottom of the screen. Well, I would have liked
the other hand.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen her on the backhand there.
I saw that as well, but she just wants to draw another one and continue the lead, and I think she's done it, mate.
Yeah, well, she's played the forehand very well, and early doors. We can see there's a little indication from marker Wendy Clark that she's confident that it's 3 shots.
This angle is a little distorting with the bowl towards us and then the wing bowl.
How about that one?
Yeah, again, it's hard to look down the line between jack and bowl and then have one on the wing with this camera angle as well, but I think the measure's coming out and it's very close, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow. Well, the umpire may be called here.
Oh.
Yep, and Alistair very quickly up out of his seat. So while he's measuring, just show you some of what's been going on here at Cherry Street. We've had our friends from Skin Check Champions out the back. We've had people coming through to get a free skin check. We've had our TAB activations closest to the jack competition. Lots of people out there enjoying the experience. We had it on the on green number 1 last night, but we're back out the back today for the final day of TAB activations. So if you're in the area, do get along to Cherry Street Sports.
And they're both free events, Nick.
Everything's free.
Yeah.
Well, not quite everything. Might have to pay for lunch, though.
Cool
treat.
Feed and a drink is always available.
So as we see, Alistair is using the laser, as has been favoured by most of our umpires here.
So talk us through this, Nick. They put a little reflective L angle on the bowl, and then they use a laser pointer off the jack to measure an accurate distance.
It's a very clever bit of kit, and something that has been a good innovation in our sport. So we'll have a look here. This was Tracy Wiblen earlier this end. This was a lovely bowl to get down and make 2.
Probably not doing Alistair many favours there, Nick.
Well, on that angle, he's a good looking rooster. So it's good to be able to show you the technology at work. And Alistair has declared that it is the pink bowl. So 2 shots it is to Tracy. She leads now 8-2.
That is that the anomaly of the camera angle. Most probably at home thought the black and yellow bowl looked closer, but
Well, most in the commentary position thought that too, Dino, but
I was going to leave you out of it, Nick. And
no, there's no need for a smother here. Our viewers are too smart. So Tracy with a bright start here. Just probably consistency has been key for her. She's got more bowls close at this stage and has been able to convert that into being just a little bit of pressure on the Windsor champion, Caroline.
And again, staying on the forehand, but just this short side of the green hanging a little bit for her.
And I feel as though while they've been enthusiastic about playing that side, they haven't quite nailed it yet, either player. So we're going to see a change in tactic here from Caroline. As she sneaks up. Tracy going to persevere on the forehand here.
There's a bit of traffic there, Nick, and I think she might have met it.
Well, I don't think she was going to go the trip at either rate, but I feel that does shut that hand down now, and we might see Tracy flipping over. Caroline here, this looks a better bowl.
And that is the line on that side, and Tracy's adjustment here might be the key. Oh, I think that shot.
Well, this one goes close. Another second. And 2 seconds we feel here for Caroline. She's got a bowl in hand. Tracy would love to get one
Yeah, I think
sitting just behind Jack in a scoring position. There's much better weight here.
looking to the marker for an indication here.
What was the call from Wendy there, Dino? Did she?
It was very subtle.
So it's only one. Well, chance here Caroline can turn through her own. Just sneak past.
Oh, she's around it, Nick.
Well,
This is a
she's
great
done
bowl.
very, very nicely there. It's a lovely bowl. Great finish. Here it is again. And she sneaks down to the jack. Probably couldn't push it far enough to get another bowl in there. But one shot it was for Caroline. So
And I think that's sometimes the key to singles, Nick, is if you lose the mat, you don't want to lose it for too many ends. So to get it straight back again is a good psychological little effort there.
well, certainly we've seen Teams go on runs here when they've had control. Come back to that game of yesterday afternoon, which I know so many of you would have been watching.
Oh, this is a great start.
Lovely, well done. That pairs match yesterday that so many would have been watching. Merimbula got off to such a bright start and felt as though they were in a position to run away with it, but Tarrant Point, to their credit, kept chipping away and got the mat back to get themselves really back in that game. Well, this looks very good again here from Caroline. She's just going to squeak past, and that's really important. She's finished in good home there. Stayed up at the back of the rink just past the tee. So protects against any real attack here from Tracy. She'll just be looking to get a good second or tuck in behind here. A little slide off that will help.
That's a good spot for your second shot there.
So a little bit of thought here from Caroline. Which hand? And yeah, I'm okay with this shot. If she can get down and sit that back bowl, that'll be absolutely ideal.
I think she's just going to run short here. That good line. She does have that line.
Yeah, looks to have that nailed coming this direction, using the bigger part of the green. Now Tracy
needs to reach here, Nick.
Yeah, just didn't have the pace. I like that. Now just needs to pop that jack back. Only needs to go, well, realistically 2 or 3 inches, and then her bowl at the back of the rink looks good. Caroline going to come down and have a look here, so you can see on the wide shot there, the pink bowl is number 1. It's a front toucher, but Caroline conscious of Tracy Wiblen's bowl, sort of lying ready to pounce there at first slip. So we'll just need to be a little bit cautious, but I think it's absolutely essential. If she can cover and count here, draw a foot past her own, sit the black and gold bowl at the back of the rink here, that would be...
Yeah, well, she's staying on this forehand, Nick, and it's well on its way.
It's just going to be well underweight again. Yeah. I understand a little bit of caution, but what that does do...
opens the door here for Tracy. Does need contact with the shot bowl.
Well, it's a tighter line here, Dino. Is it tight enough? Not with that weight.
No. Anyway, a 1 is not such a bad result when you're in the lead.
Well, one's not a bad result any time of game. I've said for a long time, if you get 1 every end, you're a very big chance of winning the game. Very big. So Carmen's asking what speed the green's running. I favour it's not, wouldn't quite even be 14 seconds yet, but we did see they had to do a little bit of work to it overnight, and there has been a lot of rain around. But as the weather dries, this beautiful surface, I think by this afternoon we're going to see some fantastic bowls played. So 4 great matches to bring you here today. So 2 from the women's singles. We're bringing you this game this morning, of course, between Caroline Layt and Tracy Wiblen. Session 2 is going to be men's singles. Session 3, the women are back out here, and as I've mentioned, it'll be Kay Moran of Fig Tree up against Anne Johns from Engadine. So set your clocks, set your calendars. The scheduled start time for that is going to be 2 o'clock. So that's one that I think will be worth... You might finish up some of your chores a bit early to turn that one on. In the men's singles action today, we're going to be bringing you Anthony Breeze from Austral up against Todd Fuller from Armadale City. And that's scheduled for an 11:30 a.m. start. An 11 a.m. start. My apologies. But those times may move depending on the outcomes and the duration of all these women's first round matches. And then, well, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. This evening's game here on the Bowls New South Wales live stream on YouTube. Ben Twist, if you don't mind, St John's Park, against Lee Schreiner, if you don't mind, Raymond Terrace. So that could well be one for the ages. And that is a round 3 game in the section for men's singles, which you feel may determine who progresses to finals and who's going to be bumped.
Yeah, I think the knockout matches are going to start one round early for that.
I think you're right there, Dean. As we see, a good effort there from Tracy.
She's got the toucher, but I think she's just slid it down the line to Caroline.
Yeah, couldn't quite go with the ball there. Caroline needs to be careful here now.
Well,
she sat her own out. Has it stayed around though?
The marker getting called to give an indication here.
And it was one red paddle. So I feel as though Tracy may have picked up a fortunate freebie there, Dino. Caroline was a little bit too quick. I could see what she was trying to do.
Yeah. I think she was looking for a little bit narrower to take Tracy out, but she got herself, unfortunately.
Yeah, had she been tied at that head, there was an opportunity to remove Tracy's bowl and make 3.
She doesn't want to give it away here, Caroline. She's asking for a little measure.
Well, you're at a state final. You're not going to give these away for nothing. But marker Clark was exactly correct. Wendy Clark, our marker today, she was exactly right. It was 1 shot to Tracy Wiblen, so she pulls out to a 9 shots to 4 lead now. And Dino just looks to have been, as we say, just a little bit more consistent here. I think Caroline's clearly, I mean, she's won her region singles. She's clearly no slouch, but just hasn't quite had the consistency as yet.
Yeah, they have been alternating the mat for the last sort of 4 ends, so she's not getting any further away. It's down to tight bowls now, mostly ones.
So the very short action there we see from Tracy. Doesn't have a big backswing, but she's got this away very nicely. This is a great start.
A little kiss on the way through on the jack as well, so...
And Caroline, she's now favouring
this
this
isn't
side
far
of the
away
green.
either,
This
Nick.
is pretty close, Dean.
Have a look at that.
Well, this is beautiful stuff here.
Looks like the ladies have warmed up this morning and now they are well and truly into it.
Can we see 3 touches in a row? Well, just left that one short. Now, tricky here for Carolyn. Not sure which bowl is shot currently, but I feel she's going to have to play the forehand still. She can turn her own bowl over. If she does get a little bit of the black and gold bowl of Tracy, It's not the end of the world.
Might be a little tight and hasn't reached either. Nick.
One shot indicated as our marker pokes that up just perfectly into shot. That was very neatly done, saying that she believes it's 1 to Caroline. As we see some positive weight here for the first time
Here it is.
from Tracy. Well, she's got them both.
She's unfortunately removed her own bowl there, but it was a toucher, so
Yep.
it stays alive in the ditch.
Yes, I'll show you that in just a moment, Dean. I'll show you that in just a moment here, viewers.
And this has opened it up for Caroline to put another one in here, and I think she's made a good adjustment after a second.
Well, you could see she was just, as soon as there was a bowl of Tracy's to chip up, she's been a little bit tight, a little bit anxious, but when it's a free kick, you see there is a bowl in the ditch there, just under our camera. Now Tracy
Needs to reach and get around Caroline, and she unfortunately has just come up a little short again.
Yeah, the line was good for the bowl, but vital to get to the tee at a minimum in that situation. Yeah, those are the goals that you set yourself. It's a fixed reference point.
And here's an opportunity for Caroline to pick up a multiple. And
she's going to do it too, Dino.
Look at that.
She's going to do it.
That last bowl draw has been a strength for Caroline in this match, and she has picked up a number here, 3. Well done.
Yeah, she's finding a little bit of range, particularly as you suggest that fourth bowl. It's got her out of a bit of trouble on occasion. I was going to say another word that it's got her out of too, but it's still just gone 9 a.m, so I'll keep those ones for the late show.
That's when you and Lee get a little bit loose late in the afternoon.
Lee Stinson has threatened to join us again for this evening's game. I think I'll have co-commentators queuing up to do this evening's game. Ben Twist up against Lee Schreiner. So do make sure that you like, follow, subscribe all the Bowls New South Wales social media channels and have your notifications turned on as we are chasing. And I don't know if I've told you this, Dean. I've set a lofty target for our YouTube channel, as we see a reasonable start there from Tracy. A lofty goal of 1 billion subscribers. Now, we are currently several hundred million short, but we will get there, as the standard of play here has just been phenomenal throughout these championships. I'm sure Val won't mind me giving a phenomenal.
There's nothing wrong with setting yourself a lofty target.
We're seeing very good bowl there.
Tracy looking to hit back after dropping a 3 on the last end, and she's got a couple close already.
Yeah, well, it's got close. Just Caroline picking up a couple of ends here, and that good collective of 3 brought the game close again, playing first to 25 shots. So
and here's a good second shot here from Caroline.
You do hear players talk about in singles games that they break it down into thirds, or into, get to 10 first or get to 7 first or something like that. So I think for Caroline to still be within a single end striking distance will give her some joy. Tracy's going to have a look on the forehand here. She can turn this pink bowl through. Gets down to her range. She doesn't want to clip that out. Well, I think she has, and it might be. Well, that's
the marker's indicating she's given that shot away there, Nick.
Well, that's very kind after Caroline did the same thing on the previous end. Just a little square up. So yes, the previous end going in this direction. Caroline pushed her own bowl through. And now Tracy gives it back, but there is, This is just a good, confident draw shot.
Well, if she moves the jack only a foot, she could pick up a multiple.
Oh, I don't think she even needs to move it that far, Dino. Just put her nose on it. This is in a good area here. Tracy likes this. Can it get all the way? Well, it's got all the way in for shot. Well done.
That final bowl again is one that the ladies are really using to their advantage.
As we see, some great sportsmanship there has been the hallmark of these championships. Players slapping hands, high-fiving, commending the great bowls being played.
Seems both players are favouring this medium to long end. After that one shortish one from Caroline, they've both gone back to a similar end, no matter who's had the mat.
Just pushing it a little bit longer. And we're getting lots of comments here.
And here's a great start by
Yes.
Tracy. Another touch at a start.
And they're finding their range here, the girls.
Caroline not real happy with that one. She's walked away and grabbed the second bowl rather quickly.
Well, it can be a little tactic in the games, and I've seen it a few times. I was commentating the final of the invitational singles in the ACT only a few years ago. And as we see, an excellent second up bowl there from Tracy. And the old master, Gary Chucky Charker, his opponent played a very ordinary bowl. And Chucky just stood on the mat for a moment and let him think about it. Because, of course, as soon as you play a bad one, you want to get that bowl in your hand and have an improvement. And Chucky just paused for a little bit, just so it could really sink in. What an ordinary bowl you played. Tracy here with her third now.
She's stacking them here, Nick.
Well, that's a nice bowl. But what she has done is created a bigger contact zone. So we're going to see a little bit of positive pace here from Caroline. Got the outside, chipped it across. Well, she's given herself a good catcher at the back of the rink here, but at 3 down.
We'll see what Tracy's going to look at here, whether she's going to try and just put another one in to hold 4 or cover the back where Caroline's bowl just finished.
So, yes, on the other angle there we can see Caroline has a bowl at the back of the rink. I feel if you're Tracy, you put the pressure on here. I think, 1 down at worst at the back. Give yourself a chance to get a big fat 4.
She is racking them here, Nick.
And importantly has left a gap there. So if you're Caroline, I think you don't need to attack this. There's 4 inside 2 foot.
She needs a little wick off that side bowl.
Well, got off the back, got off the side, got in for second. It's a pretty good save in the end there from Caroline.
Saved 2 there.
2 it is.
But as you're saying, Nick, that psychological advantage of getting to double figures first, and then the next goal is to get into the 20s first, and then the opposition starts to wobble a little bit.
What we see, that was the bowl that made it 3 for Tracy. As Tracy Wiblen just gets out.
Oh, first bowl again.
Wow.
Another toucher. Got that sticking on the wide side of the green and working out that line.
Yeah, she's starting to show Some championship qualities here, Tracy Wiblen. And now with scoreboard pressure and some real pressure on with some great shots being played. That's a good home again too. The way her bowl's lying with the jack. And Caroline favouring this forehand. That's a very, very good home.
Trying to cut this back and get second shot, which he's done, and that's a good bowl.
Now, we do have some issues with our live scoring coming through, but I can tell you from this venue, I can see that Foster, which would be Sarah Boddington, is leading 10 shots to 5. Next door, we have young Regan Bunn from Marylands up against Curry, and it's Tanya Ware. On that one, it is 14 shots to Tanya and 5 shots to Regan Bunn from Marylands. As we see, well, there's a good line again. 2 seconds now for Tracy. 9-7, Cindy McDonald from Layt and District, who we featured in the streaming earlier, over Ella Cameron from Gunnedah. Watch this one come to rest, and then at the conclusion of this end, I'll bring you the rest of the scores from around the rinks as I see them.
And that could be 2 to Tracy. Last bowl here by Caroline. Looking for some
contact and some movement was what was after, but
just dipping and running under the head there.
Didn't quite have the line. And we do think 2 shots, you believe, Dino, to Tracy Wiblen. I can also see, again, as I look around these rinks, that it's a good close tussle between Kay Moran. She leads Jane Gibson from Harvard 5 shots to 4. And Engadine and Johns is looking absolutely in control. 16 shots to 0 over Rose Farrington from Shiros Head. And then down the other match on this green is next door to us, and we see it's Brianna Smith, and she's out to a 16-4 lead over Coral Nathan, the local girl from Pottsville, only just up the street. How many shots was that in the end? Do you know? 2?
Yeah, it was 2 to Tracy, so she skipped away a little bit here, 14-7, and has started well again. Caroline needs to try and get one close here.
You feel she's going to need to win a couple of ends on the spin here if she's going to get back into this contest. Had a good collective 3 earlier in the match.
I think she's done it here too, Nick. I think she's got shot with that.
Yep, exactly right.
Is Tracy looking to roll her own bowl?
Well, she doesn't need to. She can get that contact and fall back onto the jack. Well done.
Touch.
Let's have a look at that one again. Here she comes, falls off her own, gets back, does a little backflip into the pool, and touches the jack. So Tracy here. Little touch down the line could make a good number.
Wow.
Well done.
That's a great bowl. And it's a little bit harder to get to now. She's tucked it around the corner there, Nick.
Yep, so here comes Caroline. She's going to come for an investigation. There's not really much for her aside a good draw. I like a backhand draw, Dean, if she can swing down, you know, around that front pink bowl, get down to the black and gold shot bowl. She can get a slide off second shot. Yeah, the jack trail is still okay. There is a Caroline Layt bowl at the back of the rink, so if Caroline's good enough, she can turn this head over.
Having her short bowl there, about a metre short of the jack, is going to not allow her to play too much weight here. She's going to have to only be jack weight to bend it. I think she's a bit wide, Nick.
Yeah, and with that, a collective 2 shots once again for Tracy. So 16-7 now, that margin getting a little tricky.
Again, Tracy having the mat about 5 metres up the line and trying to reach the tee with the jack. So trying to be as consistent as she can with these lengths. And with these first bowls she's putting down, why wouldn't she?
Well, first bowl pressure, it's such a big part of our game in singles. And Tracy's just troweling it on at the moment.
This isn't a bad response here by Caroline.
You're not wrong, Dino. That's an excellent response.
Oh, great bowl.
Tracy now, she's on a tightish line. Get a little slide off her own or pump that up past. Well, that's okay. Caroline on a somewhat higher line here, but as we see the pace increasing slightly, that's got back well. The weight was good for the shot.
Tracy just asking if that is a counter, and the marker standing over the head.
So we can see all the colour from around the rinks there. Brianna Smith looking to be continuing on her way next door. And Tracy looking to search up.
Looking for that wing bowl.
Oh, she can get a little bit of that. She'll get down to the jack.
Oh.
Well, it was a great effort there. As you suggested, looking for that wing bowl. She got a bit more of it. I favour she was going to go sit that jack really good. One to Caroline Layt. Well, I don't know if I like this.
Not unless she's around the back to cover that back bowl of Tracy's.
Well,
preempting that Tracy's going to play a bit more weight here. Try and move the jack.
she has covered that shot at the back. We'll see what sort of speed Tracy elects to play here. I think she's just looking to turn over her front bowl.
Just a little bit too much grass for that weight.
Now, if you're Caroline, I feel you have to play the backhand here.
And again, looking to do what Tracy did on her third bowl, use her own wing bowl to come in, or
just draw a good shot. She's got a little shoulder to get off on the backhand. She's playing
there she goes.
what we like.
Just come up short, but she does get a shot here. She does get the mat back, and she might look to change up the length.
Very important, yes. So 16 shots to 8 now. Caroline with the mat. And she might elect to do something a little bit different here too. No, just keeping the length fairly similar to what they've been playing. I mean, she hasn't been a million miles away. It's just been that Tracy, I feel, has had more in. And it's been the consistency of Tracy Wiblen that's been allowing a little bit of pressure.
It's probably a metre or two shorter than what they've been playing, so Caroline needs to do what Tracy's been doing, get this first one close, and she's done that, Nick.
Yep. No, you're exactly right, Dino. That's very important.
Now it's up to Tracy to counter, and she's not far away here.
Yeah, just bumps into the shot bowl.
Now it's fallen over. That might be enough.
No, still one.
Still favours the pink one on the wing, the marker. This is a good run if it gets here, Nick.
Yeah, just lacking a little bit of purpose. I think I was okay if she was going to play draw weight to stay.
Change of hands here by Tracy. She's looking to come around, but she's a little bit too positive there.
Well, no, that's good. I think that's good speed, Dino. She can turn her own up, sit the shot bowl. Let's have a look here. Caroline looks to be on a good track here, Dino.
This could
Gets all the way down to the jack. It's an excellent track. It's a great bowl.
Yeah, look
well
at that.
done.
So she has played a slightly tighter line here. But no, it's not going to get back there, Nick. Caroline's put another one there. We're looking for the marker's indication. This could change things. She's only saying 2.
Pretty well set up here, though, by
So
Caroline
forehand.
Layt. I think
She's playing the forehand, looking.
tight reaching weight here is what I like doing.
Yeah.
Clears the front, gets down to the jack would be what she's looking for. She might even get a result in the back door there, but
No, just.
so well, here's the bowl that set it up for Caroline Layt. The green just starting to get a little bit more turn. The breeze is slowly increasing as we see that one got right back down to the jack.
Conceded the 2 shots here to Caroline, and she's now moved to 10.
Yeah, these little goals are always important. Getting to 10. Be the first to the next margin. Is it going to be 15 shots? What's her next goal? Can she get back within a couple? Can she get back to level pegging here? She's certainly shown that she's got the capability here, Caroline Layt. Will Tracy Wiblen let her? That was a very good head, that last. Have a look at the action here of Tracy. Short backswing. Pushes the ball out the front, and well, she gets it away nicely there, but
just
running past.
A little bit through. Caroline a little bit tight on this bowl.
Yeah, you can see looking to correct on the first there, just subtracted a little bit too much weight and a little bit too much of the line there, but he's got another couple ready to fire. Tracy looks to be on a very similar track to the first.
Here's Caroline sticking to the backhand, going this way. Sorry, the forehand.
And yes, she's found it. As I suggested, you know, a little overcorrection, and then
Tracy looking to change hands. Follow her down here.
yeah, a little bit more going for Tracy on this forehand. Chance to sit that second shot. Chance to sit the shot bowl. Chance to trail the jack. Well, I don't understand this change of hands though. She's just played an absolute belter on the forehand. And while I appreciate she's looking to cover things over, in case the jack gets trailed, you know, you play that shot first, you beat them to it. It does look quite inviting here, and we'll see if Tracy opts to play with a little bit more directness. She's still just on a draw line. I felt there was an opportunity to be more positive there, Dean. You know, trail that jack back towards her, the other two. She could have made all four.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. Tracy's probably not having that positive mindset to really have a run at that.
Well, it's something I mention often when we're calling singles games particularly, and you see the best players can do it, is that they can isolate themselves from the game and look at it from a third-party view almost. Whereas, you know, if you're here, you're playing in the singles, because you know, you're not being supported by anyone. You don't have the skip down the other end, or your lead, or your third, or whomever it may be, to, you know, provide direction. You know, so you can get stuck in your own head at times, and it's really vital. So to be able to walk away from the rink, reassess, you know, and for these players, look back at your game and say, geez, there probably was a 4 there had I played a little bit more positively. You know, we're always learning all the time, but for these players, yeah, I think they might look back at this and think, well, you know, those two blokes in commentary, they might actually have a bit of a clue about what they're talking about. They could be the first players ever to say that about Hodges and Hind, your commentators here today. But singles is a hard game, because it's singles, you're by yourself. And so while we might be a little bit conscious of some of the shots that they're not playing, we've got the opportunity to use our pictures. We've got all the angles we can talk about it. We can discuss it with one another. They don't have anybody. So really conscious that they're doing their best, and they're here for a reason. They are champions. They're region champions. And their best has been pretty good so far. This is excellent here from Tracy.
Here comes another one from Tracy on the jack again. And this is not a bad counter here from Caroline.
Is she going to go the trip, Dino?
Oh, that's close.
In the argument, one red. So the red paddles are for
The black and yellow bowls.
the black and gold bowls of Tracy Wiblen and Ettalong Memorial.
And she might have doubled this up here.
Well, gets inside that. That's beautiful draw bowling. Well done, Tracy.
Caroline with the last bowl.
Down 2. So
Needs to have some contact here.
well, she can't trail this jack, can she?
Oh, she can, I think. Nick, look at
Well
this.
done.
What a bowl.
Massively important in the context of that end. She's got the jack to the back of the rink, and what that's done is it's made things really quite tricky for Tracy. Tracy Wiblen, she played some beautiful bowls on the forehand. I favour that's still the way to go. She's just got to add a couple of moves on her last.
And the difficulty here is that she won't be able to see the jack from the mat, so the distance between the bowls and the jack is never easy. That's why I think she took a double take. While she was up the skip end, she could see that. At the mat end, she couldn't, but she's delivered, and it's away, Nick, and this isn't far away.
Well,
That's crashing into...
That's where the jack was. So easy to do, but it's going to be one shot to Caroline Layt, who played, I reckon, the bowl of the match so far, Dino, to get that one back.
Well, again, that's been Caroline's strength, is that last bowl and a draw or just a little bit over to take the jack at that time was a great bowl. So she's kept the mat for a few ends here, Nick, and she is chipping away at the lead.
Back within 6 now. So, well, Tracy's looked to be in the ascendancy so far. We're back within 5 now. I do apologise. I think, well, I'm sure my scoreboard's right. I'm going to double check that card. Can you just, when Margaret Clark comes down, so
We will double check the scoreboard at the end of the rink is showing one shot out from where we are. So
yeah, I think someone's put one on the wrong way.
it's
Could well have been me. It is early. I haven't had my cup of tea yet. Nearly 10 o'clock here, but the cup of tea is still very hot. Doesn't cool down. Now next door, Brianna Smith looks like she's very close to wrapping this game up against Pottsville. So Coral boxing on gamely there, but 22-9 down. As we see,
I think Caroline might just stay to hold one here, Nick.
yeah, maybe two, Dino. Now over on the other greens, I can bring you some of the scores from all the matches here. So Danielle Thompson and Catherine Lyman are locked in a good battle. Danny up 11 shots to 9 over on rink 1. As we see this one, well, this is going to be the argument too, Dino.
Yeah.
That could be number 1. I'll just bring you the rest of this in before I give you the progress scores from around the rinks. I have asked Lee and Andrew to have a look into what's going on with our rolling scoreboard. the changeover from pairs to singles might be impacting it, but this is a good changeover from
Tracy has adjusted amazing here.
Tracy. Well done. We're going to see reaching weight here from Carolyn. Look to bump that one through.
Just fading now, and
well, she had a couple of seconds there, so I was okay with that. But for Tracy, gives her a little bit more room. Doesn't want to cross the line here. Just she can get down, beat that bowl at the back. Because what happens if she goes across the line, it does risk any jack movement, which she does not want. Conservative weight.
Is it enough, Nick?
Well,
The marker's having a close look here, and the two bowlers will come together.
one comes out, and the tape comes out. While the tape's out, I can let you know Sarah Boddington is leading Karen McFarlane 13 shots to 6. Dino, you just jump in as soon as there's a result here. Tanya Ware has defeated Regan Bunn. So Curry over Maryland's there. Cindy McDonald from Layt District is playing Ella Cameron from Gunnedah. One shot was all.
It is only one. There's only one here, so
17-12 is what our scoreboard attendant is showing. And Dino's just going to jump up to double check that card. But I think, given it is Wendy Clark looking after us here today, that there'll be no errors. That's been confirmed, so thank you. It was an operator error from this end. So, Dean, I'll never let you near the scoreboard controls again.
That's it. Throw off to the rookie.
I do apologise, mate.
And here's Tracy with a great start here again with her first bowl.
Mate, she's doing this just with ease now. So I'll quickly bring you the rest of the scores. So Cindy McDonald, Layt District, is 11. She's trailing Ella Cameron from Gunnedah, 13. Kay Moran is on 12 shots. Her opponent, Jane Gibson from Harbord, is on 7 now, the scoreboard indicating. And the other match in that section, Anne Johns 21-3 in front of Rose Farrington from Churros Head. So that brings you up to date with all of the scores. I do apologise, we've had some issues with our rolling scoreboard this morning. Only seems to happen when I'm here. Andrew must be stitching me up with this.
There's Tracy with a second bowl as good as her first.
Well, there's a chance to get a nice split there, just a little bit over the line. But Caroline, she's made some good contact there, got the jack out into the open. Still 2 shots is the indication from marker Wendy Clark. And, well, I like a switch of hands here now from Carolyn Layt. I think there's a good shot under that front black and gold bowl down to the shot. She can trail the jack.
She's having a long look. And look, it is looking like positive weight.
Yeah, just that line's going to be costly there. Floated it out. Doesn't want to chip that back bowl out. No. Yeah, had to be under the front bowl there of Tracy. So Tracy here looking to just reach up, draw to the tee. And she's chasing this one. One more roll, it's in. Well.
And then on the rink beside us, Nick, we have Brianna Smith holding game with 1 bowl to play from Pottsville.
Yes, Coral Nathan, you can see top left of screen, she's about to get her potentially final bowl of this first round underway. Brianna Smith has been comprehensive next door. And that's slid past, so it's going to be a win for Brianna Smith. You can see those players shaking hands. And polite round of applause from the smattering of spectators. There might be a few sore heads this morning after the pairs players got into it last night. So Wendy Clark indicating 2 shots currently here to Tracy. That would get her to 19.
And a measure for a third.
But I think if you're Caroline Layt...
Do you go back to the positive weight again,
well, I don't see another shot that I like.
Well, she has, and she is a bit tighter on this line, so...
It's a much better line here, Dino.
That front bowl, though... Oh. Jack's moved.
Yes, so let's see. There was a little bit of contact. There was a little bit of jack movement. Did it move far enough to get that pink bowl to protect against the potential third shot?
I think it's definitely 2 again, and they'll look. She's conceded 2, so Tracy's happy with 2 and moving to 19 to 12.
So a very peaceful morning here at Cherry Street. Nick Hind and Dean Hodges bring you the action here today. This is the first round of women's singles at the TAB 2025 State Championships. It's great to have your company wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world, as we bring you what we trust will be an exciting conclusion here. Caroline Layt just won't go away.
And this first bowl from Tracy has been,
it's been
a
immaculate.
lot of pressure on.
It's been immaculate lead bowling. You know, at the front there, what you see from the good leads.
Reply, though. This is a good reply.
They put pressure on. First bowl pressure. Well, first bowl response. Yeah, certainly as the matches progress, I think these players have got more comfortable with the cameras being around. They've got more comfortable with the pace of the green. And they're playing more and more quality bowls here. You can see why they're regions champions. With the very simple action of Caroline Layt, she doesn't do much with that, just gets down and away it goes. Simple so often can be effective.
I think she was hoping to be behind the jack, like Tracy with the second bowl, but Tracy has come up short with this third one.
Well, decision here, that forehand's looking tricky. I think she can still play it.
She's changed to the back end.
Well, the only risk here, similar to the last, is that doesn't want to be promoting black and gold.
She's around the front one, and she's covering the back one, and that's a good spot there.
Yeah. That's wound up in a very good home. Just didn't want to be going too direct at the jack there. There was a big chance of chipping up the black and gold bowl of Tracy Wiblen.
Tracy looking for some contact here, Nick.
Well, she's on a nice tight line. Can look to bump through the shot. Bump through that.
And she's drawn shot with that.
So, having drawn shot, or having made shot, decision time here for Caroline, because there is two.
There's 2 bowls of Tracy's directly behind the jack.
at the back of the rink.
Putting some doubt into Caroline's mind here on what she can do. She's looking to play with a little bit of weight as well.
Well, through her own.
Oh.
Not much going for her there, and it's going to be one shot to Tracy. She moves to 20.
And that's that next little psychological battle there to get to the 2 and the 0. You feel like you're on the downhill run then.
How would you know? Have you ever got to 20?
Well, it's a bit presumptuous there, Nick.
Yes, no, Dean's been talking a big game. We've got the, we're going to have a little staff challenge on Tuesday night, and well, I don't back my chances unless we have to go left-handed or opposite hand.
Well, there'll be a couple of the staff members will be enforcing that rule. There'll be a couple of us who will be doing our best, the best we can.
You suggest Andrew and Dillis will be, playing for a title there.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see if Andrew's up for the battle. He might be on the injury list.
Still on the injured list, you think? Yeah, no, he's improving. He's out at Alstonville today, Andrew Lynn, for those that are missing him. So he'll be back in action before too long. Where's Stinson just wandering across here? He said, rolling scoreboard fixed yet? And I said, well, the men's singles aren't on there, but no men's singles games have started yet. And that's okay. We'll keep bringing you the action. Good little slide there from Caroline. She's turned it over and got shot. Tanya Ware from Curry ended up running it. It was 25-5 over young Reagan Bunn. And
just sliding under there by Tracy. So here's Caroline with another draw shot, Nick.
Chance to make this a 2. Yeah. Important time. So,
she's
3. Well, she's
reassessed that because
Wendy Clark, yeah, she only liked it for 1, and now she's had a good look and saying, well, it's 3 shots.
Decision time here for Tracy.
Well, she looks like she's going to line up with a little bit of purpose here and maybe try to clean a few out.
Oh.
So we're seeing some weight now.
Something's going to happen.
Through the front, onto the shot, onto the jack. And
well, she has
cut
it
now.
Back to 1.
Oh, and Wendy Clark was ready to get out of there. Double checking which one it was. I can show her on the replay.
So on the forehand now, Caroline. She's looking to draw a second.
So from holding 3, back to 1. It was a good bowl there from Tracy. Cleaned a few out.
It's a good line.
It was an excellent line. Just going to slide past. You can see, as we saw yesterday afternoon, the players were saying, as we see from Caroline, she's giving herself a little bit of motivation there, shall we say. It's one shot. We heard from the players yesterday afternoon that down near the tee, it is quite thin, the covering of grass, and it seems to be running on quicker there than almost anywhere else on the rink. So Caroline, she's been largely staying away from that. As Lee Stinson's going to come back and tell me that the rolling scoreboard is ready to go, and it is. It's working beautifully now. Thank you, Andrew, for your work. And thank you, viewers, for your patience. as we get that tidied up. So
And here's Caroline with a nice start.
That's a tidy start, isn't it? Very tidy.
I think her goal will be just try and hold onto the mat for a number of ends here, even if they're only one shot at a time, just to close the gap. But Tracy is going to have something to say about that.
Wow. I thought, as marker Wendy Clark did, that was a toucher all the way in the running there. But not quite. As we see, well, she really wanted Caroline Layt to get down to the black and gold bowl at the bottom of the picture. Just left that a hair short. So Caroline, that's about where she wanted it to be. Well done.
Looking to reach and go a metre through here and collect something. And
well, puts her nose on, trails it. That could be good enough for one.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, turned it over. It's the great Alf Boston comes straight past us here in our commentary position. He'll be in action representing East Lismore. And for a long time, one of the elite singles players in this region.
And here's Caroline's response.
Well, she sits this out. She might make them all back again.
Oh, that's a great bowl.
Massive effort.
What has she done here? The marker's over the top. And she's picked up 2 at the moment. Holding 2. Last bowl of the end.
Now, does Tracy like this one? I think she's on a high-ish line. Certainly she's urging it back. And there, well, the pace is good. We haven't quite seen the finish that we're used to. That might cut out second shot, though. Dean, I don't know. Oh, perhaps not.
It's 2.
2 it is. So 15-20 now.
Caroline just clawing back. Another couple of shots and looking to move the mat up the rink here.
So here's what we're seeing today. Beautiful blue skies. Gentle breeze. This is just a delight after what we've had in the most recent days. Let's see, Margaret Clark doing the right thing for us and back into the action here. Oh, I said it once, I'll say it before, Dino. She just won't go away here, Caroline.
And this is a good start here too, Nick.
So they've shaken hands next door. Anne Johns running out a comprehensive 25-4 shot win over Rose Farrington from Churros Head. So 1 to Caroline. Do you know where Churros Head is, Dean? You ever been to Churros Head?
I actually know someone who lives down that way,
oh,
to be honest with you.
There you go.
So, yeah, I do know where Churros Head is.
One of the prettiest spots on the south coast. Just between Maruya and Badalla. A little bit quick here from
my friend who lives down that way. Apparently some great fishing areas.
Absolutely, if you like. game fishing, if you like beach fishing, if you like fishing in the estuaries. Some fantastic spots on the south coast. We look forward to being at Merimbula in only, 9 days' time until we're at Merimbula for the Junior Championships. So we're going from one end of the state to the other. Look forward to your company for some great matches there. As it is still 2.
Mark is holding 2.
Well,
and an opportunity to just draw another one here for Caroline and really put herself back in the match. She likes it. She's following it.
Well, with no sort of time pressure with ends here, she can just chip away at this. That might go close. I reckon that's in from our position. And we've seen Tracy. She's already been shown her colours here. She's been happy to go in and play positive weight to try to clear a few out. She's trying that again. Well, what's she going to get here, Dino? Nothing.
Oh.
Wow.
Well,
just have a look at this once again. She comes flying through the hole. You'd back her to get some contact there, and just shaved past everything.
and that is the old adage of holes for bowls, Nick.
So as the players come down to assess the damage, 2 have come out. Well, there's an argument for all 4 here, isn't there, Dean?
I think the back bowl closest to the tee is Caroline's next closest, and we need to measure that against
Well,
the black and gold.
I'll be doing this the other way around. I'll be measuring Tracy's first.
Yeah, doing the.
But at any rate, we'll see in a moment whether or not that one's in. So that is 3.
Oh, they need to.
And now, yes, so this is exactly as we suggested. Wendy Clark saying now you've got to measure.
Shorten the tape, so it could be all 4 here, Nick, and this could change the whole momentum of the game.
It is. It's all you can eat. So, 4 shots. So all of a sudden, 19 shots to 20. I figured out just then how I got the scoreboard wrong before, because I pressed the button right between. I got them both going up at the same time. So 19 shots, Caroline Layt, 20 shots, Tracy Wiblen, and, well, Dean Hodges, this is game on.
Yeah, I think momentum is such a big thing in the sport of bowls, and Caroline, although still behind by 1, has some momentum now.
Yeah, it feels though she's finishing just like a train here, really coming down well, going to hit the line hard.
Yeah, not far away with the first again.
As you've been telling us all week, this is the Melbourne Cup, not a sprint race. You weren't saying that when we were here having a couple of beverages the other night, though, with the TAB boys. You were a bit more enthusiastic then.
That was when the NRL was on, and I was hoping it was the golden slipper to finish early. But
Yes, that game went about 90 seconds too long for you as a Cronulla Sharks fan, but for myself and Lee Stinson as Canberra Raiders fans,
what about your carry-on?
we did. And perhaps pork chops were mentioned there. We did carry on a little bit, but it's an exciting conclusion, as we're likely to see here, an exciting conclusion to this game. Now, I'm just checking the YouTube comments. So Matt Hooker's put in a good one. The good coaches always say in singles, follow your third bowl down. It gives you a chance to reset, analyse the head and make the correct decision. And it's something that you do see a lot of players, whether or not there's much to look at, it just gives them a chance to reset and refocus. They just do that automatically now. So Caroline gets a good slide there, and that's going to be, yes, it is in for shot. So a slightly more fortunate result than perhaps she drew it up, but it's given Tracy a pause for thought here. She's going to persevere with this forehand, and I think that's okay. Shot ball very hard to get out on the backhand. And this is going to be all down to her weight. Just going to finish a metre short.
So it'll be interesting to see what Caroline looks at here. And as per your just previous comment, if she was down this end after her third, she could have a real good look.
Well, that was the great Matt Hooker's comment, not mine. I was just endorsing what he said. But so Caroline, she's
on the forehand, needs to get around the black and gold bowl and then inside.
She started chasing it early, but I think speed kills there.
Yeah, it's around everything.
You know, just want to wait to put her nose on the jack there and make a good three. Now, it does give a chance here for Tracy. She's going to have a look up on the backhand, so I think she's going to try to run the jack into the ditch or sit that pink bowl of Caroline out. Well, she gets off that, and she gets off that, but it's not going to change it.
I think
first and second unscathed.
And this could be all tied up after this end.
Well, you wouldn't have thought that, and when it was 16-8, you probably didn't have that on your bingo card, that this game will be tied up at 20 all, but as we know, the finish line is hard to find sometimes in singles, and yes, it has been surrendered, so 20 shots Caroline Layt, 20 shots Tracy Wiblen. Well, we've picked the right game for you here, viewers. We're in for what should be a grandstand finish, as Caroline Layt
has moved the mat well up the line now.
Yeah, she's really done that aggressively, and I do like this. I think it's a tactic that's underutilised in the game of singles. You know, take the mat right up the line, put the jack somewhere near the tee.
It does play with your mind sometimes.
So many players, they get anxious about it and they can't. They're short and they overcorrect and they lose one, and all of a sudden they're playing with 2 bowls and you're playing with 4.
Yeah. So Caroline, just nice weight with that first one, just a little bit tight, crossing the line and opening the door a little bit for Tracy.
Now, there are times, though, we did, when I was on with Lee Stinson the other night, we were watching that triples final. There are some players who you probably don't want to be doing that against because it just becomes an arms race and jacks get sunk very quickly. But, you know, if you're just a club player, go practice that, because someone will do it to you one day, and
here's Caroline with a great response here.
And you'll benefit from it. No, very good. Caroline's got lots of support here in the chat. So great to see everybody, wherever you're watching, around Australia or around the world. Do let us know where you're watching, who you're cheering for, who you're looking forward to seeing today. Well, needs to get off that. If she was going to get a result, that could be 2 now to Caroline. And if she can get a scrub off the inside of that and fall in, that will be 2 now to Caroline. So, backhand.
Tracy sticking with the backhand.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with this. She can
And with
be
a
a
bit
bit
of
more
weight.
direct.
Looking to move things around here.
Well, she's got the jack, and that will kill.
I think she has, yeah. That's
So-
out of bounds, so
So first kill of the match, they can restart the end, and the players are going to wander down back to the commentary position here, and they're going to get started from this end. So good result there. Couple down, and with the finish line very much in sight, Tracy Wiblen playing a good positive bowl, got some great contact. and was able to spit the jack out of bounds. But she had a lot of ways to win there, Dino.
I think she would have been happy if the jack had to come straight back to the ditch with that ball as well.
So do I. Yes, there's some players who are very proficient at sinking jacks.
So Caroline trying to get the same length as the last one with a mat up the line and close and all the way to the tee, that one. So this is what we're just talking about.
Well, I've just spotted something here, and I'm going to see if I can bring you a picture of this, because I reckon that is the biggest butterfly I've ever seen in my life here, Dino. I mean, everything's pretty big up this way. Some of the mosquitoes have tried to carry me off in the last few days, but I couldn't help but notice that was one of the biggest butterflies I reckon I've ever seen in my life.
Tracy has put another cracker down here. Put the pressure right on Caroline. A pretty tidy response as well.
There it is, I've got it. I've got to take the scoreboard down. There it is, that's one of the biggest butterflies I reckon I've ever seen in my life. That's the size of a bird. So while I won't make a wildlife documentary cameraman anytime soon, it was just one of the fun things that's going on here at Cherry Street Sports. There's always something to do and to look at, even when the bowls aren't being played. But this is a bowl that's being played here. Well done. So, the Ettalong fans all need to be cheering for their girl, Tracy Wiblen, as Caroline, well, she's just got the wrong edge there inside of that.
It was a nice roll there by Caroline, and just as you say, got the wrong edge, and I think it's still 2 shots.
Well, the head's building up nicely here for Tracy.
Tracy's on it again, Nick.
Head's building up really nicely. That's a fantastic home.
And Caroline wants to have a look here.
Yeah, well, I don't blame her. This is a tricky one for her, because there's a chance that she can surrender a really big score here if she's not careful. For Tracy currently, any touch on that jack, and she'll have, or any touch on that front shot bowl, and she could have 4.
And that front bowl is not a toucher, Nick. So if there is plenty of weight and things move.
Well, alternatively, we do see that Caroline does have some coverage, but it's all sort of to the back left of picture here. Once I go to this shot, it's all sort of to the back left of picture, and very hard for me to see the jack getting back there. So I think, and given the risk, I think she really needs to get a bowl in covering. There's the Bermuda Triangle there between the front bowl and the 2 at the back. And yeah, I like this backhand. Well, backhand firm. Yeah, she's left herself open now. Caroline Layt dropping a big number here, because any touch, if Tracy's good enough, she can draw it on the forehand. Any touch on that jack will be 4. A little touch on that front bowl, turn it down onto the jack, could be 3, could be 4 as well. So, massive moment here in the context of this game. Can Tracy find a way to put herself right in control here at the pointy end? Well, she slapped her thigh halfway along. She's disappointed.
It's not going to reach, so could be a couple. And
Yeah, the indication from Wendy is that it was 2, and 2 has been displayed.
So that kill end could be the momentum killer here for Caroline, and Tracy within one end of the 25 now.
Yes, so on the springboard, in the checkout zone. That's Val Febo's preference. Gary Shed saying that I'm the new David Attenborough. Well, I think that's probably a bit rough on David Attenborough, really, isn't it?
I don't think he came up with a species other than just butterfly.
I'll do some research. He doesn't... He doesn't have much form as a bowls commentator, though, David Attenborough, but I'm sure he could do it with aplomb. Equally, there'll be people on there saying that I don't have much form as a bowls commentator either, but you're stuck with me, you're stuck with Dean Hedges today. Here bringing you these beautiful pictures under crystal clear blue skies here at Cherry Street Sports in Ballina. This is the best day we've had for the entire championship so far, Dino.
Yep, 100%. This is what we came to the North Coast for.
We're seeing, well, she's just dropped a little bit short again, changing hands. Tracy Wiblen with the finish line in sight. Those last shots are often the hardest ones to get. The last one, so often the hardest to get.
And Caroline
she's
running
in.
through, so towards the jack.
Well, big collect here for Caroline Layt, can put her right in command again. We see the ends have been...
I don't think she's here again, Nick. Tracy?
Well, has that done enough to be second shot? I don't know. I think if you're Caroline Layt here, you jump on this jack, put your nose on it. You'll be holding a good 3 and...
Needs to reach as well.
Yeah. Hard to find a positive with that. Really, there was nothing for short there.
No. So the marker has indicated Caroline holding 2, and Tracy needs to get one in the head here.
Well, she's on a much better line. She's got much better weight.
And
she's done it very, very, very well.
That's a great shot.
Such an important bowl at such an important time there, Dino. And I think if you're Caroline, you can probably be entitled to be quite confident up through this. Chance for a little cannon to get that last bowl out, but she's going to be tight. Well, this is hers coming up, though.
Not enough.
So, one shot it will be to Tracy, who is now just 2 shots away from claiming victory here in the first round of the women's singles at the TAB State Championships here at Cherry Street Sports. I don't want to declare her yet, though, Dean. We've seen, as I say, Caroline Layt will not go away. She will not lie down, and she will not give this match up without, you feel, another fight. And if she can win one end, she might win a couple more.
Yeah, I agree. This is a very important end, this one, Nick.
We'll put this game to bed while you've controlled the length.
And Tracy just leaving the door ajar here for Caroline.
Who said thank you very much. Oh no, just sliding on past. I thought, well, this morning that probably would have parked up right next to it, but we've seen the green speed increase as the morning's worn on. Groundskeeper Duncan Elphick and his team continue to provide us with superb surfaces in all conditions.
Tracy just sliding under her own and past the jack as well. just looking for an adjustment, and she might have made one here, Nick. That's a good bowl.
Yeah, very well done. If you're Caroline Layt, to win this end is going to be just vital. And we know 2 shots will get Tracy Wiblen out, but even 1 shot, you can flum a shot from anywhere. You can give that away to keep her at bay with having to make a multiple to win. Very, very important.
So changing hands now, Caroline.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's left that. That's not the line she was looking for.
Well, I think maybe a little bit anxious about turning that front bowl up, and if that's what your anxiety is, I think you need to play the other hand. She's got one of her own she can turn over there. Tracy's dropped this short. Well,
so this is 1 and an opportunity to pick up a 2. She has gone back to the backhand here, Nick. That's her preferred side.
She's listened to me. I think toss this one out. Well, it's a good conservative high line there. Didn't want to give herself any chance of promoting Tracy.
She'll take the mat back.
And she'll take a score. So she's now into the checkout zone as well, Caroline Layt.
(21-23). And looking to come well up the line now.
Yeah, so both players now on the springboard, potentially one end away from claiming this first round contest. But there's some games that are still well in the balance as the scores roll through in the first round women's singles.
Caroline not happy with a tight line there. The weight looks good, but he's going to cross the line. And again, a little opening for Tracy.
Yeah, and she's jumped right on here, Tracy Wiblen. That's very good. Seeing the bowls just finishing a little bit now, Dino, aren't they? They're starting to find that nice pace that has been a feature of the Cherry Street Greens for many years under the stewardship of Dunky, our man. Well,
Caroline.
Beautifully done, Caroline.
Oh, she might have actually
go with it though.
I think she might have just pushed that through to Tracy, who the marker's indicating Tracy is holding 1.
Well, Tracy just taking her time here. You can see that Jack has moved. And parked in just nicely here.
And still only 1 shot.
Yeah, but there's a good chance now to get the 2 shots required, get a good collect and check out. Well, that's changed things up. That's going to make it a little bit harder. So Tracy off over will just be looking to draw this. As the lovely Kira O'Shea has just come and given me some love letters, updated graphics for match 3 and 4. Very exciting stuff from Kira. So still 1 here to be favoured, Dean?
Yes, it's definitely Tracy holding 1. Caroline's has asked what the gap is between the jack and Tracy's shot bowl, which is about 4 inches by the marker's indication, and she's looking to move things here. Knock herself up.
Oh, she got a touch. Did she get enough? She has.
It's rolled over and kissed the jack, and
well, what's that done for us here. Let's have a look from the other angle. Doesn't give much of an indication.
It's
Tracy's saying, I want to still have one, please. Can you tell me that I've got one? And yes, one shot indicated by Margaret Clark. And Tracy's not going to play it, we reckon.
I don't think Caroline's conceded it yet, and Tracy has picked up the mat. So
they've declared the end, but the umpire's going to come and determine
if this is actually a shot.
Which is shot here. Well, who would have thought we'd have this happen today? So the end declared. Tracy thought she had it. Our marker Wendy Clark thought that she had it. But umpire Alistair is out with the calipers to say, well, if you're quite sure.
Yeah, this point of the game, Nick, you don't give anything away.
No, exactly right, Dino. One shot it is. So Tracy now one end away from being a first round winner here. They're having a good chuckle, though, the girls. I said, well, of course I'm not going to give you that one. I'm going to have a look for it, please.
And I have to give mention to the umpires that are up here for the tournaments, Nick, and all the volunteers, the markers, and everyone else involved in the back end of the sport that don't get too much credit. They're doing a fantastic job over the couple of weeks we're up here in Ballina.
Yes, that was our man Alistair Preston who was out there. He's been providing excellent service for all the players. Hasn't been called into action too much today, with only 2 matches on this green this morning, but with men's round 1 to commence scheduled for an 11 a.m, so we might have a very short interval. If this goes out in the next end or two, we might have a very short break before men's first round play gets started. Anthony Breeze from Austral against Todd Fuller from Armidale City is our live streamed match. But you can check the Bowlslink results portal for all the games. Results.bowlslink.com.au is where you go for all of that. Very highly credentialed field. Darren Morrison in action again. Ben Twist coming up this afternoon. Lee Schreiner I've mentioned. Former Australian Brett Dupre in the field, if you don't mind. Corey Wedlock. Cody Packer.
Oh, Caroline has just come up short here.
Short. Important that she reaches.
She's got one at the back.
And a new state pairs champion David Axon will be in action for Tarrant Point in this show. So
Tracy,
well, this is
going to hold game with this one.
Well, she only needs one. The only thing that she has done is sort of framed it up a little bit, but we haven't seen Caroline play too positive weight. Now might be the time, though. Caroline Layt does have a bowl at the back of the rink.
She's adjusted the...
Well, she's pushed up her own, but it's got that in a hard spot to go direct at this. Could be second shot, though. So... as we look there at the back of the rink, there is a pink bowl of Caroline just in waiting. If she's good enough to drag the jack, I think that's what... if I'm Tracy, I'm looking to cover that back bowl. You only need one to get out.
Yeah, that might have been a thought, but not for Tracy. She's just want to put another one on the jack and put the pressure right on Caroline here, or drop it in short.
Well, that makes it very hard to get to that jack. And as Caroline comes to have a look here, it's a tricky head to get at. Potentially, she can push up through her own pink bowl on the centre line. There's probably just enough of a gap to swing in under the black and gold, but it's not without risk. So she's sort of indicating more or less straight up the middle there.
Yeah, I think.
So we'll see whether she's got this power going. We haven't seen it as yet. But unless she backs herself to draw to an inch, which realistically it's a low percentage shot, I think she needs to attack this head, see if she can change it up. There's a chance that she can get through the pink bowl onto the jack. She can get through the black and gold bowl onto the jack. She does have a bowl at the back of the rink. Well, this is a draw line. And it's not going to get down. So we know that's going to be a victory here. The players will shake hands. So 25 shots, Tracy Wiblen. That will be the final score. 21 shots, Caroline Layt. They've given us some good games. There was some good bowls to start with. And with a big program ahead today, we're looking forward to bringing you some more fantastic action. Dean Hodges, I'm sorry, I knew I'd do that. Hodges. Dean Hodges, you've been fantastic on debut, mate. Any final words from you?
Thank you, Nick. You've been very kind. You've helped me through it, and I'll add that to my resume.
No, he's done well. So the final result here, Tracy Wiblen, 25, defeats Caroline Layt, 21. We'll be back with you fairly shortly. We're going to have men's singles action coming up very soon, as we're going to see a match between Anthony Breeze from Austral, Todd Fuller from Armidale City. Do set your notifications to be turned on. Do make sure that you like, follow, subscribe to the Bowls New South Wales media channels. On behalf of Dean Hodges, my name is Nick Hind. We'll be back with you very shortly.